Diddy the Dick Wrangling Diddler has been hit with another disturbing lawsuit. Abuse, harassment, and unpaid royalties. DawnRichard breaks her silence in a major lawsuit against Diddy. Is the music industry paying attention? Because I know we are. So DawnRichard is a former member of Danity, Kane, and Diddy Dirty Money. Has filed a lawsuit against Diddy Combs, accusing him of sexual, physical, and emotional abuse during her time working with him. Richard alleged that Diddy sexually harassed her, groped her, and subjected her to degrading verbal abuse, often referring to her with derogatory terms and forcing her into uncomfortable and inappropriate situations. She also claims that he denied her fair payment, citing about $3.5 million in unpaid royalties and salaries for her contribution to Danity Kane albums and tours. The lawsuit also ties Richard's experience to Diddy's abuse of his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, which Dawn claims that she had witnessed it. She alleges that Diddy's abuse extended beyond professional boundaries, including threatening her life when she tried to help Cassie escape from the relationship. Dawn is one of several women who have come forward with similar allegations against Diddy. So, of course, Diddy's legal team has denied all of the accusations, calling the lawsuit an attempt to cash in on false claims, especially given the timing, because apparently Dawn has a new album that's coming out. So his legal team is arguing that Dawn continued to work with Diddy for years, including participating in making the band Reboot of 2020, despite the allegations of mistreatment. So in today's video, we will break down the lawsuit, the allegations, and the history between Dawn and Diddy. So Dawn's professional relationship with Diddy began on the MTV reality show Making the Band, which aired from 2005 to 2006. The show was created and produced by Diddy, and the goal was to form a new girl group. After a rigorous audition and competition process, Dawn, along with 4 other women, was chosen to form Danity Kane under Diddy's Bad Boys Records. So Danity Kane became an instant success, largely due to the exposure from the show and their collaboration with Diddy. Their self-titled album, Danity Kane, was released in 2006 and debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, showcasing the group's potential in the industry. The album featured hits like Showstopper, Showstopper, and Ride For You, both of which highlighted the group's pop and R&B appeal. Danity Kane's second album, Welcome to the Dollhouse, in 2008, continued their success, debuting once again at #1 on the Billboard 200. This made them the first female group in Billboard history to have their first 2 albums debut at the top of the charts. The group's connection to Diddy's Bad Boy Records helped elevate their status as they were involved in his broader entertainment empire, appearing in multiple high-profile performances and events. However, despite the success, tensions began to rise between the group members and Diddy over management decisions, which led to conflicts about creative control and direction. Diddy was known for his demanding style, which added pressure to the group, contributing to their eventually breaking up. So, Diddy's involvement in Danity Kane's career gave the group access to top producers, songwriters, promotional platforms, etc., etc. However, as the group's success continued to grow, so did the issues between Diddy and the group members. There was disagreement over management, royalties, and directions were reoccurring themes, which played a part in the group's eventual disbandment in 2009. Dawn was a standout member due to her strong vocals and songwriting abilities. She was able to maintain a professional relationship with Diddy, which helped her transition into his next project, which was Diddy Dirty Money, which further solidified her career. And like now, understanding the name of Diddy Dirty Money, like, yeah, I think he was telling us without telling us by putting it in our face with the name Diddy Dirty Money. Yeah, let's continue to get into this. So, the relationship, however, laid the groundwork for the current legal dispute that, however, resurfaced years later. Despite the success, the foundation of their working relationship was fraught with conflicts that would later become a central in Dawn's lawsuit against Diddy. So let's talk about some of the internal issues that was with Danity Kane. So Danity Kane's rise to fame was an instant success, like I stated, but it was plagued by internal tensions and conflicts that eventually led to Diddy and Kane breaking up. Much of the drama was publicly aired on Making the Band, where viewers got to witness clashes between the members and Diddy himself. And so as the pressures of fame and maintaining their success grew, so did tensions between the group members. Aubrey O'Day and Dawn were often of the center of many disagreements. Aubrey, known for her outspoken nature, began to clash with Diddy over creative and management decisions, leading to further strain. There was also a report of divisions among the group, with members also feeling excluded or mistreated, which continued to add to the friction. So the conflicts were exasperated by media attention, with some of the members becoming more focused on individual pursuits. For example, Aubrey did increase her involvement in external projects. She did modeling, she appeared in Broadway apparently, and she was also seen as a distraction and a sign of disloyalty to the group. So this led to trust issues with the band, contributing to its instability. Girl, sounds like jealousy to me. Sounds like a little bit of jealousy to me, but whatever. So the most notable breakup was in 2008 during a heated episode of Making the Band, after tensions reached a boiling point where Diddy announced that he was dropping both Aubrey and D Woods from the group. The decision was rooted in both professional differences and personal disagreements between Diddy and Aubrey, which Diddy claimed were hindering the group's progress. All right, Diddy, whatever. So Diddy's public firing of Aubrey caused shockwaves among fans and the media, marking the beginning of the end of Danity Kane. The groups officially disbanded in 2009, though they attempted several reunions in later years. These reunions were short-lived due to unresolved tensions and ongoing power struggles between the members. So let's talk about the criticism and the allegations of mismanagement, because we all know Diddy is very unprofessional. So throughout their time on Making of the Band, Diddy was known for his intense criticism of the group. He regularly challenged their dedication, work ethic, talents, and pushed them to their emotional and physical limits. While this tough love approach was intended to shape the group into superstars, many saw it as a harsh time, and it was, stupid. Because y'all remember when he made them people walk in New York to get a cheesecake?
You gotta realize he's doing his album, he's doing his stuff, so he's using that to get their publishing. Them kids is having nightmares right now, bruh, for that cheesecake, going over the Brooklyn Bridge, walking all the way over there, hoping that they was gonna get a deal, hoping they was gonna do something with him, and he had no plans of doing none of that shit. It's not funny, man.
And girl, apparently in this lawsuit with Dawn, he had her rehearsing for 48 hours with no sleep. Okay. Anyways, let me get back focused. So, Diddy's confrontational style was a central theme on the show, with several iconic moments where he would tell the members they weren't performing at the level he expected. He frequently questioned their commitment, criticized their performances, and even commented on their appearances, particularly targeting Aubrey for being too sexy and suggesting it was distracting from the group's image. In one memorable episode, Diddy criticized the group's vocal performance, saying, "You're only as good as your last hit record," implying that they were getting complacent. This constant pressure created a tense atmosphere, leading to emotional breakdowns from some of the members. So as Danity Kane rose to success, rumors of mismanagement within Bad Boys Records began to circulate. Some of these rumors suggested that the group members were not being fairly compensated for their work. Allegations surfaced about poor handling of their contracts, with some members feeling that they were not given the financial rewards or creative control they deserved despite their chart-topping success. Because baby, I know when I was a kid, I was bumping Danity Kane. So pay them what they're owed, Diddy. In interviews years after they broke up, Dawn and other members hinted that they were kept in the dark about the financial decisions and often felt powerless in the decision-making process. This added to a feeling of resentment towards Diddy, who they believe was prioritizing other interests over the group's well-beings. So the internal conflict within Danity Kane, coupled with Diddy's harsh management style, created an environment that eventually led to the group's downfall. While Diddy's drive to push the group to success was evident, one would say, his approach often alienated the band members, leading to fractures that couldn't be mended. These public disputes, along with the allegations of mismanagement, added to tensions and set the stage for future legal battles, such as Don's current lawsuit. Girl, did Diddy really have intentions on Danity Kane or any of the band members being successful? Because I beg to differ. I beg to differ. After the disbandment of Danity Kane, Don transitioned into another music project with Diddy, joining Diddy Dirty Money, which was a group that was formed with Diddy alongside Don and singer-songwriter Kalina Harper. The group was designed to explore a new sound, blending elements of hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music, which marked a departure from the more traditional pop and R&B style of Danity Kane. So Don's relationship with Diddy remained strong despite the public controversies and breakups surrounding Danity Kane. She became a key player in Diddy's Dirty Money, contributing not only as a vocalist but also as a songwriter. Her involvement in this project allowed her to showcase her artistic versatility and cement her presence in the industry outside of Danity Kane's shadow. So they only had one album, y'all, and it was The Last Train to Paris. And so it was a conceptual project that told the story of a journey filled with love, heartbreak, self-discovery. The album was praised for its experimental approach, incorporating heavy electronic and dance influences with a narrative style that was different from most mainstream albums at the time. And so Dawn played a significant role in this project, helping to create the moody, futuristic sound that distinguished the album. So I know y'all remember some of them songs, because like one of my favorite songs was Hello, Good Morning. Oh, hello, I don't remember the rest. Good morning. That's all I remember. It was a good song. It sounded pretty cool. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but that's the only song I really remember. I don't know. Let me know what y'all favorite song was off the album. Despite Diddy's well-documented controversies ranging from the business disputes to personal scandals, Don remained loyal to him and continued working closely with him during this period, even as public perceptions of Diddy was wavered. Especially with the public scrutiny over his management of Danity Kane, Dawn maintained her professional relationship with P.Diddy. And this was evident as she continued to collaborate with Diddy on performances, promotional tours, and various other music industry events during Diddy Dirty Money run. Her decision to stay by Diddy's side during this time not only solidified her career in a way, but it also allowed her to maintain some industry visibility. However, while Dawn's career flourished in so many ways, there were lingering tensions that later come to the forefront in her lawsuit against Diddy. Issues of unpaid royalties, mistreatment that she experienced that were tied to this era, where despite her significant contributions, Dawn claimed she was not adequately compensated or treated fairly. So these frustrations, combined with Diddy's harsh management styles, laid the foundation for the legal battle that would emerge years later. So we are about to get into this lawsuit. I just wanted to do like a little introduction. Guys, so y'all, I'm hot. We're about to get into this lawsuit. I just wanted to do a brief introduction, right? I just wanted to break down and get into the background and the details and how did we get here today. So, how did we get here? Well, how did Dawn get here, really? So, Dawn's lawsuit against Diddy Combs alleged a series of disturbing incidents of sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and degrading treatments between 2009 and 2011 when she was working closely with Diddy Dirty Money. These allegations are a part of a broader mistreatment Dawn claims she experienced while under Diddy's mentorship. So let's get into the sexual harassment allegations. So in her complaint, Dawn alleges that during her working relationship with Diddy, she was subjected to several instances of sexual harassment where he overstepped boundaries in ways that were humiliating and demeaning. According to the Rolling Stones article, Dawn's complaint detailed dozens of disturbing encounters that she observed while in Diddy's orbit, including drug-fueled parties with young women who seemed lethargic or passed out while Combs and his friends performed sexual acts on them. That's very disturbing. Let me get my energy back, right? Because I don't. So there was a groping incident that Dawn alleges. So Dawn claims that she believes Diddy invited her to these parties as a test before he began to barge into her changing room and grope her bare buttocks and attempted to touch her breast. In one uncomfortable moment, Combs allegedly cupped Dawn's breast to guess her bra size and offered to gift her fake titties for Christmas in 20. However, the more Dawn resisted Diddy's sexual advances, the more he retaliated against her claims. Combs would allegedly deny her singing parts on songs and turn off her microphone during performances. The groping reportedly happened while they were alone, where Diddy would inappropriately touch her body, making her feel powerless to stop his advances due to the power imbalance in their working relationship. He would also force Dawn into compromising situations. So apparently Dawn alleged that Diddy forced her to attend meetings while he was dressed in nothing but underwear as a form of control to humiliate her, or humiliation. And according to her, Diddy would hold these meetings in intimate settings, taking advantage of the privacy to make inappropriate comments about her appearance. These incidents created an unsafe work environment where Dawn felt unable to voice her discomfort or push back due to Diddy's control over her career, you guys. It continues to get worse because she also alleges an incident where she got locked in a vehicle by Diddy. And so this is one of the more shocking accusations, where Diddy locked Dawn in a car with him against her will. And during this incident, she alleged that Diddy verbally abused her while making inappropriate physical advances, making it clear that she couldn't leave until he allowed it. And so this happened around December 2010 when they were preparing for the performance. Well, Diddy Dirty Money was preparing to perform on Saturday Night Live. Well, Diddy called Dawn, wanted to know her whereabouts, and when she said her and Harper arrived at the studio, he repeatedly shouted at the women and called them names, drawing the attention of people in the lobby, according to her complaint. Dawn alleges that Diddy stopped and drew his fist as if he was going to punch her. And then Diddy's bodyguard stepped in and escorted Dawn out of the studio into a car. Harper went after her, and the two were locked in the car for several fucking hours. Dawn had her phone with her and called her daddy, and he arrived to New York from Baltimore within a few hours and threatened to call the police on Diddy, who allegedly told him, "Think about your family and about your daughter's career." Baby, let me tell you something. At this point, my health and my safety is paramount in comparison to what you're doing to me, okay? So anyways, after the performance, Diddy alleged that Dawn told her, "You don't call your dad unless you're in the hospital." What does that even mean? What is that even? Are you threatening? So you're crazy. So what are you trying to say? I can't call my daddy. I can call my daddy if I want to. I can call my mama. I can call my daddy. I can call whoever I want. Diddy. So this type of behavior, according to Dawn, was not isolated, but a part of a broader pattern where Diddy would trap her in situations that made her feel both physically and emotionally vulnerable. So in addition to the physical harassment, Dawn's lawsuit claimed that Diddy engaged in regular verbal abuse, using his authority to break her down emotionally. Dawn described instances where Diddy would refer to her with derogatory terms, including demeaning and sexually charged language. He would often criticize her body and make lewd comments, reinforcing her sense of powerlessness in their relationship. And so, y'all know these comments were intended to basically undermine this girl and her self-worth and assert dominance, because apparently she didn't feel confident in herself until she was about 30. And I can imagine after going through something like this, like, your self-confidence is pretty low, and she stuck around for a while. It's sad. And I'm not victim blaming or blaming her, but I'm just saying the situation she was involved in. The industry is a dark, dark place. But let me stay focused and we can give thoughts, So Dawn also recounts that Diddy would threaten her career if she didn't comply with his demands, reminding her that he had the power to make or break her in this industry. And this coercion extended beyond sexual harassment, as Diddy allegedly controlled key decisions in her career, creating an environment where Dawn felt trapped. And so Dawn's allegations of harassment and abuse fits into a broader pattern of control where Diddy used his influence as a mentor and a boss to manipulate and dominate those who worked for him. This is further emphasized by Dawn's claim that Diddy prevented her from leaving certain uncomfortable situations by threatening her livelihood. She claims that she was often put in degrading scenarios, making it impossible for her to maintain a healthy professional relationship with Diddy. Child. Diddy the dirty dog. Diddy the dirty dog. That's what you are. That's what he is. So, Dawn in her lawsuit talks about her witnessing the abuse of Cassie. And so she said that she witnessed physical abuse that was directed at his girlfriend, Cassie, well, his then girlfriend at the time, Cassie. And so one of the most alarming incidents that she describes in this lawsuit is that Diddy threw Cassie against the wall during a violent altercation. And apparently there was a situation where they were all at a meeting with high-profile celebrities and Interscope founder Jimmy Levine. And at this meeting, Diddy punched Cassie in her stomach in front of everyone. And Mr. Levine watched Mr. Combs or Diddy commit this violent assault in front of these numerous high-profile witnesses. And so this was at a time where they were discussing a $50 million deal. And so Diddy got the $50 million deal, and it remained in effect even after this freaking incident. So this further provided Diddy with immense financial rewards and enabled him to commit further acts of violence without fear of repercussion, because he feels like he's untouchable. He feels like he is on top of the world. He can do whatever he wants because Diddy's the devil. So Dawn also talks about that at one point Diddy was like, Cassie was cooking some eggs for Diddy. Diddy got mad and flung the eggs and was like, you don't ever do it right or whatever. You know, just abuse, just like more abuse, which I don't think anyone's surprised, especially at this point, right? So following these disturbing events, Dawn tried to intervene and help Cassie leave this abusive relationship. But once Diddy found out that she was trying to get involved in his relationship and assist Cassie to leave him, this came with some direct threats against Dawn's life, where Diddy apparently warned that if she continues to meddle in his relationship, there will be some severe consequences. And this threat further underscores the level of control Diddy maintained, not only over his romantic partners, but also over those in his professional circle, right? Which leveraged fear and intimidation, and a lot of people really just remained silent because nobody wanted to get involved, because a lot of people were and probably still is afraid of this man and what he can do, right? And so the series of events paints a picture, right, of an environment where Diddy's abusive behavior extended beyond the workplace and into his personal life, creating a very dangerous atmosphere, you guys. Like, this is, you know, for anybody who was going to get close to him. And so Dawn basically claims how his actions impacted both her and those around him, which add more weight to her current lawsuit. And so these allegations, combined with the sexual harassment, the verbal abuse, the complex and troubling portrait of Diddy's treatment towards women and his inner circle. It's bad. Whew. So, the other thing that a lot of people aren't really talking a whole lot about is the fact that in her lawsuit, she also includes a claim for $3.5 million in unpaid royalties for her work on Danity Kane albums and for over 100 tour dates. And so there's a lot of financial grievance, and this is a part of her legal action as well. And so basically what she's alleging, or what she asserts in her claim, is that she hasn't received her fair share of royalties for the music she created as a part of Danity Kane under Bad Boys Records, Diddy's label. Specifically, she claimed that the two albums released by the group, Danity Kane and Welcome to the Dollhouse, were commercially successful, yet she was never properly compensated for her contributions. These albums, which both debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, generated significant revenue, but Dawn alleges that she and other members of the group were denied rightful earnings. Surprise, surprise! This includes revenue from sales, streaming, and other forms of income that successful musical projects typically generate. Dawn claims that despite playing a key role in the creation and the promotion of these albums, she never saw the financial returns she was entitled to. In addition to the unpaid royalty for album sales, Dawn alleges that she performed in over 100 tour dates while with Danity Kane and was not compensated properly for these performances. Tour revenues, particularly for the group as popular as Danity Kane was during its peak, is a significant source of income for artists. And so Dawn claims suggest that despite the hard work and extensive touring schedule, she didn't receive her fair share of the profits, leading to a large financial dispute. So this lawsuit is not just about financial compensation, but it also highlights the toxic professional relationship Dawn had with Diddy. The $3.5 million in unpaid royalty is intertwined with her allegations of sexual harassment, verbal abuse, and mistreatment, creating a case where both personal and financial abuses are alleged. Dawn claims points to a broader culture of exploitation under Diddy's management, where she was not only mistreated on a personal level, but also denied financial rewards for her hard work. So y'all, Diddy has a history of not paying his artists. So let's take a trip down memory lane. So Diddy has faced long-standing accusations from various artists in the music industry about unfair business practices, particularly regarding financial disputes. Many artists signed under his label Bad Boys have claimed they were underpaid, mismanaged, or taken advantage of in unfavorable contracts. While Diddy has consistently denied these claims, several prominent artists and individuals have spoken publicly about their grievances. So here is a breakdown of some of the artists and the allegations that they have linked to Diddy of issues with finances and publishing and all that comes with the industry, right? The Locks, which includes Jadakiss, Styles P, Chic, and Chic Louch. And so the issue with the Locks was that they publicly accused Diddy of holding onto their publishing rights and underpaying them. This feud escalated in the early 2000s, leading to a public demand on the radio for Diddy to release their publishing rights. And after much public pressure, Diddy eventually agreed to release the group from their contractual obligations.
Way, but with lawyers, and you know that, so don't get on the radio and act like a tough guy or none of that.
Wait, you know how we can settle?
You acting tough.
I'm in my office, so why don't we stop talking on the radio?
Now, you want people to stop talking because you just don't want to know the truth, dog. We made one record with you, Money, Power, Respect. It's 10 years later, and you still got half of our publishing. Now, there's no way you can make it justifiable that you should you deserve half of our publishing.
You never said nothing to my face. We just at the concert. You ain't saying nothing.
What are we gonna do? Shave it to your face? Get sued? What do you want us to do? We can't touch. It's not. We can't be violent. Oh, none of that. We can't even have.
You saying all this, dog? 2 years ago, Levels in Miami.
Let's real recognize real. Y'all know where the office is at. There's a big sign on it.
The next person, Mace. Mace has been very vocal about his dissatisfaction with Diddy, particularly regarding ownership of his publishing. Mace revealed that he offered Diddy $2 million to buy back his publishing rights, which Diddy allegedly rejected. Mace accused him of exploitation and called him out for underpaying Bad Boy artists.
Right, because he got the show with Cam, and a lot of people, they don't know about the history between Mace and Diddy. Let the people know how Diddy did him dirty, if you don't mind.
From what I know, I think that Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents and stealing their publishing on different albums and different records. Prime example, Mace wrote that Bad Boy joint. I ain't even see him at the premiere because I believe Diddy owned most of the publishing on that, which ended up being a big record that went over to movies. I think Mace was upset the fact that when he learned the business, he saw how Diddy had robbed him he had took the glory for the albums, the music, and all the records that he had did. And he got pennies for it. You understand? 8,000 here, 10,000 there. You understand? When the record go platinum, Diddy's getting 200,000-300,000 and only gave him pennies for writing a song, getting points on publishing that he didn't even deserve. So Mase learning the business and knowing the business, it led him to be upset. Diddy was teaching him wrong. Like, Diddy was teaching him not to even speak to people, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Nate used to come up in there, yo, what's up? How you doing? He had that Harlem smile. You know what I mean? Like, he happy, he's shining. Because, you know, he had a lot of jewels that the other artists didn't have. He used to come up in the studios. He used to come places fly. Diddy tell him, yo, you ain't gonna never be famous because you always speaking to people. Let them speak to you. I seen Mase stop speaking to people. When I told him, man, don't listen to that nigga with that old dumb shit. Be you. But he found out after Big died and Puff left his ass out in California, he knew only Puff was for self. So Mase and them didn't have what these kids have now with the internet, with the YouTubes, to learn the business themselves or listen to somebody teach them the business and stuff to watch out for.
Interviews outside of Mase, everybody be saying like, so what's going on? And I be like, you know, Mase is out here doing his thing. He's cooking up right now. And just to be clear, he has the freedom to go do whatever, you know, he wants to do, you know what I'm saying?
What's that mean, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, he could, you know, a lot of times
He can work.
People can work. People have felt like, you know, like our situation, I may have stopped him or whatever. He can do whatever he want to do. I'm trying to make sure it's everybody's crystal clear. Everybody's crystal clear. If you want those Mase verses, you can go get your hustle on right now. You know he got a slick tongue though. You know he's a mean negotiator, so you better come with that guap though.
How you feeling about that, Mase?
Oh my God.
Being able to work. But you wait till Monday. You gonna come back Monday? No, Mase, you gonna come back Monday?
Yeah, I'll come back Monday.
Okay, let's come back Monday and talk all about it.
Hey yo, what up? We are here at Dirty Money and my homegirl Kim. And yeah, check it out, shutup.com. Yeah, shut up.
Shut up. Put a push up.
It took me 10 years to get this paperwork right here. I had to put this in UPS.
It's about to go out now.
On it. I don't even know what I'm gonna put out now. Oh my goodness. Alright, we good.
Y'all ready?
We good.
What just happened here, though? Just tell us what happened.
Or shutup.com. This is Mase. I got my official papers right here from Puff Daddy. It was love. So I guess we don't have no problems after all.
All love, man.
I don't even know how to take that. I ain't used to Puff doing good stuff, you know?
Hey, every once in a while you got to do something.
We already talked about Danity Kane, but as I previously stated, Danity Kane had a turbulent relationship with Diddy. Several of the members, such as Aubrey O'Day, accused Diddy of poor management, financial exploitation, and being overly controlling of their image and music, and resulting to Danity Kane, you know, breaking up.
Deal that we were offered, and when I say we, not every artist got it. Like Day 26 did not get it. But this is what it is. You can have your rights back to your music after Puff went under and somebody else bought our catalog. So this is long after we have 2 double platinum albums, $14, $15 an album from 2 million albums is, what is the math on that, 48 million?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm no mathematician, but maybe.
So $48 million somebody made on me.
Who are we talking about in this video? Dawn. And so with this current lawsuit, as I stated, she has said she was not fairly compensated for her time working with Diddy as well. And so another person is Mark Curry, a former bad boy artist, where Mark wrote a book titled Dancing with the Devil. What did I say? Diddy is the devil. He stated in his book, Puff burned the bad boys of hip hop, and he alleged in his book that Diddy took advantage of artists by unfairly distributing money and not compensating them as promised. So Diddy has a pattern of bad business practices, especially within his contracts. And so many of the artists have claimed that they were locked into these long-term unfair contracts which limited their financial growth and ownership over their music, i.e. the publishing rights. So Diddy has been accused of holding on to artists' publishing rights, a key source of revenue, while the artists themselves received only a fraction of what they earned. And so several artists spoke out about how Diddy exerted excessive control over their artistic output from the music to image, often sidelining their creative visions in favor of his own. Diddy has built an immensely successful career and continues to maintain that his business dealings have been fair, attributing some of the complaints to the harsh realities of the music industry. Nevertheless, the repeated claims from multiple sources over decades have cast a shadow over Diddy's reputation in the business. Nevertheless, as it pertains to his current lawsuit with Dawn, Diddy, of course, denies all the allegations of abuse, emphasizing that the claims are baseless. His legal team has pointed out that the suspicious timing of the lawsuit, suggesting that it may be linked to the promotion of Dawn's album release, implying that it is a strategic move for publicity. Additionally, Diddy's camp argues that Dawn's decision to continue collaborating with him over various projects, including the 2020 Making the Band reboot, contradicts allegations. They assert that this ongoing professional relationship undermines the claims of prior mistreatment. So, Lisa Bloom, who I'm sure we've all heard of before, she typically represents victims of sexual abuse in these cases against these celebrities. And so she represents Dawn, and she fired back at Diddy's legal team by telling Rolling Stones that, like many women, Dawn needed to extricate herself from the business relationship. She needed to think about what happened to her. She needed to process it. And once Dawn came to terms about her experience, Dawn had to speak out and she had to stand up. She had to seek justice. And so she also fired back at Diddy's attempt to shame Dawn for their previous working relationship, saying, "It's not up to women to give up career opportunities to dodge powerful men who behave badly. It is up to men to conduct themselves honorably or at a minimum legally in every workplace. No woman should have to choose between her dignity and her career." And I agree with that, okay? And so Diddy has been involved in several legal controversies that have amplified public scrutiny surrounding him. These cases particularly involve women and have painted him in a troubling picture of his past, especially as more voices have come forward. So, as we all know, in 2023, Diddy's former long-term girlfriend, Cassie, filed a lawsuit accusing him of physical abuse, sexual abuse, and human trafficking. She claimed that during their relationship, which spanned for over a decade, Diddy engaged in coercive control and violence. Her lawsuit alleged a pattern of abuse where Diddy exerted control over her career and personal life. And so Diddy responded by denying these accusations, calling them false, and asserting that the claims were an attempt to exploit their past relationship. The lawsuit quickly garnered media attention, putting Diddy's history of relationships and business dealings under public scrutiny. And so Cassie's lawsuit, y'all, opened the door for other women to come forward with their stories of alleged mistreatment by Diddy. Though the details of each case vary, the accusations generally involve claims of emotional manipulation, abusive relationship, and exploitation. And so these women's voices have contributed to a growing narrative that Diddy, well, there are some men as well, because y'all know that $100 million judgment we just talked about. But, and there was another lawsuit from another guy with Young Miami's in it. But I say all this to say that there's a growing narrative that Diddy has a history of using his power to harm those that are close to him. And so these recent lawsuits have reignited long-standing rumors about Diddy's alleged history of manipulation and financial exploitation. They have also resurfaced past accusations about his control over artists signed to his label Bad Boy Records and how he has been accused of profiting at their expense. Diddy's legal battle with Cassie and others come at a time when high-profile individuals in the entertainment industry are facing increased accountability for their actions. This added pressure has led to intense media coverage, with many questioning whether Diddy's legacy in the music industry will forever be tainted by these allegations. And so Dawn's lawsuit against Diddy, where she accuses him of abuse, now falls within this broader pattern of legal troubles. The public is more attuned to these issues, making it difficult for Diddy to dismiss them as an isolated event or isolated incidents. And so the timing of the various lawsuits from women, including Cassie and Dawn, raises the question about Diddy's relationship and behavior towards the people in his circle. Because I don't even want to just say women, but it's men and women. And so as these lawsuits continue to pile up, because I'm sure there's going to be more, Diddy's public image continues to face challenges, with many wondering how these controversies will affect his standing in the entertainment industry. Whether or not these cases lead to legal consequences, the court of public opinion is increasingly critical of his actions, adding weight to the ongoing accusations. And so Dawn's lawsuit is a part of a growing list of allegations against Diddy, signaling a trend of women coming forward to accuse him of abuse and misconduct. Cassie's previous lawsuit, which settled out of court, did set a significant precedent. Although the details of the settlement remain undisclosed, Cassie's case served as an inspiration for other people, including Dawn, to step forward with their own allegations. And so this lawsuit, or these lawsuits against Diddy, are pointing to a larger pattern of alleged abuse, manipulation, and misconduct stemming from Diddy's personal and professional relationships over the years. As more voices unite, the public scrutiny surrounding Diddy intensifies, potentially impacting both his legacy and his career in the entertainment industry. What once may have been isolated claims now forms a narrative that questions his treatment of women and the power dynamics he has wielded throughout his career. So overall, Dawn is asking for a jury trial, compensatory damages, lost wages, royalty, publishing, touring, compensation for severe emotional distress, civil penalties, and punitive damages, and she wants him to pay her attorney fees. I want to talk about in this part of the video some of the potential legal outcomes of Dawn's lawsuit against Diddy and how it could lead to several scenarios, with each different implication for both parties involved, given the public and legal attention on this case. So this is my thoughts of some of the most likely outcomes. A settlement. So a settlement is often the preferred route in these type of high-profile cases, where both parties might seek to avoid the prolonged public scrutiny and the cost of a trial, because it's really expensive to go to court, y'all. It's expensive to file. It's expensive to have hearings. It's expensive. You have court fees. You have filing fees. You got attorney fees. You got all these fees. And so a settlement is usually the most preferred route, right? This was the case in Cassie's lawsuit, which she settled out of court shortly after it was filed. If Dawn and Diddy's legal team agree to settle, it would likely involve a financial agreement and the possibility of a non-disclosure clause, preventing either party from discussing the details of the settlement publicly. If Dawn accepts the settlement, she may receive financial compensation for the alleged harm she endured. While settling could provide closure and a resolution, it might also prevent her from fully airing her grievances in court, potentially leaving some matters unresolved. Additionally, the NDA or NDAs could limit her ability to speak further on the issues. And as it pertains to Diddy, a settlement could help avoid damaging effects of a trial and further public exposure of the allegations. However, a settlement may also be perceived as an admission of wrongdoing by the public, even if he doesn't admit guilt. This could still impact his reputation, but it would likely minimize the fallout compared to a trial verdict. So the next step is, or the next likelihood of an outcome would be a trial, right? So if there's no settlement that's reached, the lawsuit could proceed to trial, where both parties would present their evidence, A jury or judge will determine the outcome. A trial would lead to further media attention, potentially exposing more details about the allegations and making the legal process much more transparent to the public. So, if Dawn was to take this case to trial and win, it could result in a legal ruling in her favor, which might bring significant financial compensation, public vindication, and validations of her claims. However, going to trial also carries the risk of a protracted legal battle, which can be emotionally and financially draining. If the court rules against her, it could also damage her public credibility. So as it pertains to Diddy, a trial could present significant risk to Diddy, because if he's found liable in this civil jury, he could face financial penalties, and the ruling would further damage his public image. Given the pattern of accusations against him, a trial loss could fuel the perception of a long history of misconduct, hurting both his legacy and business's interests. Even if Diddy wins, the public airing of sensitive details could still tarnish his reputation, as a trial often delves into personal and potentially damaging matters. Trial or no trial, he did it. Diddy did it. He's done something. He's did things. Like, I don't even think we really need a trial. Like, I think we just know. The court of public opinion says you're liable. So this case could also get dismissed. And so the likelihood of this case getting dismissed is due to lack of evidence or procedural issues. If Diddy's legal team can prove that the allegations lack legal merit, or she has no standing, or they can invalidate Dawn's claim or the grounds, this case could be dismissed before reaching a settlement or going to trial. And if this case is dismissed, Dawn could lose the opportunity to have her claims formally heard in court. This could harm her public image, as the dismissal may be viewed as a weakness in her case, leading to doubts about the validity of her accusations. However, she could still pursue the matter in the court of public opinion, because I feel like we're all on Dawn's side. So, how it would affect Diddy if there was a dismissal. So this would be the best legal outcome for Diddy, right? As it would suggest that the claims against him were not strong enough to proceed. However, even with a legal win, the allegations themselves may still affect his reputation, as public opinion is not always swayed by legal outcome. Or it's never swayed by legal outcome, really. I don't know. What do you think? But whatever the outcome, this lawsuit could significantly impact Dawn's career and public image. If the case leads to a settlement or a trial victory, it could empower her and others who have had similar experiences, positioning her as a voice for victims of abuse in the entertainment industry. However, a loss or dismissal could harm her credibility. And as it pertains to Diddy, the outcome of this lawsuit, along with other recent allegations against him, could have a lasting effect on his legacy. A settlement or a loss in court would likely intensify public perception that he has a pattern of misconduct, further damaging his standing in the music industry. Even if he avoids a legal defeat, the accumulations of allegations might still tarnish his brand and reduce the opportunities for future collaborations or business venture. Ultimately, the legal outcome will depend on the strength of the evidence, the willingness of both parties to negotiate, and the legal strategies employed by their respective teams. The case has the potential to not only resolve the personal disputes between Dawn and Diddy, but also influence a broader conversation about abuse and exploitation in this hellish music industry. And so as more details come to light, will Diddy's empire survive the growing list of allegations, or are we witnessing the fall of one of the biggest names in music? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.